All right, Buffs Nation. I appreciate all your patience. It is my fault that we are tardy as usual, but have a very, very special guest coming on. This is her first time on the channel. She's doing some really cool work on TikTok, on YouTube, of course, on Twitter. So we'll have her on here in just a minute. Before I get started, I want to give a shout out to my good friend Martez over at Yo Martez Quality Goods. Use that promo code SCOBuffs to help me out, but also get yourself 10% off some really awesome clothes, including the retro Colorado Ralphie tee. It looks awesome. So links in the description. But with the housekeeping out of the way, we have somebody very exciting to have on the show. That is a recent University of Colorado Boulder alumni and sports journalist, Taylor Sadusky. So I'm going to bring her on. Be sure to hit that like. Let me know in the comments who's watching, where you're watching from, and let's get to it. Taylor, how's it going?
Great. How about you? Thank you again for having me.
The honor is all mine. I appreciate your patience and my scattered mind, but I'm very excited to talk with you because you've been able to get a very, I guess you would say, like upfront view of what has been going on with campus over the last year. Obviously, you're a recent graduate, so I want to hear. Well, first, let's get into this. Who are you? What did you do at CU? What are you doing? Right now in your career, and we can kind of talk Buffs campus life after that.
You got it. So basically, I showed up to see you not even knowing like what I wanted to do, but I knew that I always loved sports. So with that, I've always watched people like Erin Andrews and just girls like that. I'm just like, maybe that could be me one day. That'd be like super fun just to be on the field. Like sidelines kind of worked. Then I kind of just got more into it and I joined more clubs at CU and like it's called Scope Buff Sports. And with that, you get access to anything. If you wanted to go film videos with like the players, the coaches, you had that access. You can go to practices, you can go to press like the sidelines, anything you wanted. It was awesome. And this is like the era of like Mike McIntyre, Carl Durrell, like all those kind of coaches you had to see access under, which is super crazy. And so I just knew from then on, like my degree has to be communications. It has to be sports media. So it was awesome.
I love that. I love that. And yeah, it seems like you've gotten some really great experience being at CU. What kind of things do you have going on right now? Guys, go subscribe to Taylor. Again, her YouTube account is in the description to this video. So be sure to go subscribe to her because she just passed 50 subs. So we're getting you there. But what types of things are you looking to do? What types of things have you done? What can people look forward to seeing from you on your channels?
I would say pretty much just anything. I'm big on just like energy. I love seeing other people excited because it gets me excited. I love being just like around the energy. I love seeing like the tailgate. Like, what are you doing? What are you drinking? Like, what's going on? And just seeing like what you do. Because there's people like that got there at like games such as like the CSU game. They got there at 2 a.m. or even just stayed up the whole entire night. Like I got there and like from Littleton, Colorado, like that's a 50-minute drive, got there maybe at like 3:15 in the morning, was completely exhausted, but you instantly woke up because you see all these giant lights, you see college game day, you see like the big noon kickoff, and it's just like you're just like in the action because never before have you seen this kind of attention at CU. It's crazy. It's so cool.
It was mind-blowing. And y'all, you got to go check out Taylor's first vlog that she put out recently covering the madness that was going on with big noon kickoff and college game day, all of that. As a recent alumni, or as a recent alum, what was that like for you? Being on campus a couple weeks ago compared to I know CU's a fun place to always catch a game, but I imagine that the environment was just racked up to 11 on the dial, right?
Yeah, definitely. When you're not coming back like 1-11, you're actually like a winning team. Like there's definitely so much more love there. There's so much more energy. Yeah, you have a couple bandwagoners coming on, but like people are just so excited to be in there. And I just love seeing it because like I said before, I saw this when it was just like the regular schmegular like seasons of not progressing, like not having that energy out there, but still having like a good crowd, like loyal fans. But you get to see people just get so excited. I feel like population on campus is times 10.
Yeah.
Obviously, big names too as well. I never thought I would ever see Lil Wayne, Rick Ross, like all these big names, like ever on CU, like Fair and Field. Like I don't know. It blows my mind. It really does.
It, yeah, it was so surreal for me to see. I got there kind of late for the Nebraska game. I had some trouble finding parking compared to what I had kind of in previous years, you know.
It's crazy.
Um,
It's insane.
but yeah, like the environment on campus, it was something that like I didn't experience when I was on campus. A few years ago, it was a whole new level, which was really cool. But I want to hear from you. Like, let's step back a little bit. You know, graduating last year, what was that like? Because you got to be on campus, for the tough season we had last year, the Cal win, and then everything that's happened with Coach Prime, coming to Colorado. Um, yeah, I want to know like your thoughts, your expectations, going into this year, and how they've kind of lined up to expectations right now.
No, definitely. So I think it's just like the whole entire like athletic department of CU is turned on its head, definitely.
Yeah,
And you've seen so many big changes. I think CU in general, such a beautiful school. Like if you're a commit coming to CU, like you see the school first, like you see the Flatirons in the background, like you see the beauty of it. But when it comes to like your coaching staff and you see like the more like the logisticals of it, you just see so much more beauty in it because people have passion behind it. And when you see these players like have so much respect for their coach and like that goes both ways and like you see people just like build onto that, I just think it's huge. And then to see that, it's just I don't know. I think so far it definitely has exceeded my expectations. Like no one's expecting CU to be like a shutout team, this year. Like they're still
yeah.
good, like they're still getting it together. Like, and it's been amazing to see so far. Like obviously you can scroll through ESPN and see like CU everywhere. So it's insane.
Yeah, it is. It is mind blowing. I thought that maybe Colorado would be one of the top watch teams in the Pac-12 this year. Uh, I mean, they are just blowing it away right now in terms of viewership against the rest of the teams in college football, which has been man, so exciting. I mean,
Huge.
no. Everybody wants to watch what's going on right now, whether they're a fan of it or they're grumpy and they want to see it fail for some reason. I don't understand that. Like people make fun of us for being so bad. And now that we're trying to be good, they just want us to go back to being bad
You
again.
can't win. You
I
can't
don't
win. You
understand.
can't lose. It is what it is.
I know. I just don't understand it. But I'm curious to hear from your perspective, Taylor. A lot of people that watch the channel, they're from out of state. So if they're coming in for a game, whether it's this weekend or later this year, um, you know, but where are some go-to spots that you would suggest if you're spending a weekend in Boulder, that you hit up, that you make sure you experience?
I could have your whole entire day planned out for you. Like I just there's so much you could do in Boulder. I think it's so underestimated, but I would say definitely food wise, you have to go to the sink because that's going to give you the full experience of going to a CU game. Like you have the excitement of the crowd. You even have the opposing fans show up too that want to start a little like, a little whatever, but it makes it fun. It keeps the energy going. And their food's actually really insane too. So you definitely have to go there. And then this one is a secret spot. People don't know about it too much, but you have to go see some beauty of Boulder. And that's definitely Boulder Falls. Quick little 15 minutes outside of Boulder. Go out, look like a cute little like stair hike somewhere and just it's so gorgeous. See it wintertime, see it fall time, like summertime, it's just gorgeous. Like there's so much you can do in Boulder. It's insane. So
I love
and
that. Yeah, definitely a fan of the sink. That's for sure. Where okay, if you're wanting to get tacos, there are a handful of different taco places. Where am I going for tacos? Where do you suggest?
do you like something like messy or something like more kind of like bougie and small? Like there's so many see like Boulder even has taco options. Like that just says right there how like it's getting places. It really is. So
It is. Yeah, I'll go with yeah, I don't mind making a mess. I don't need anything too bougie, too fancy.
Centro has really good tacos. It has like that new trendy taco, the birria taco, stuff like that. If you want to get those, just anything and everything. So I'm
Mhm.
I'm a tour guide at heart when it comes to just being like, okay, you have to go here. So it makes sense.
Yes, and that's why like y'all gotta be following Taylor for all of these these local hidden gem insights, especially when you're visiting here in Folsom
I'm a native.
or
What
in
can I
Boulder.
say?
Well, let's go ahead and spend some time talking about the season so far. In terms of the team's performance, I think it's exceeded a lot of people's expectations right now. 3-1 going into a really tough matchup for USC. What has been some of the maybe your favorite storylines or players throughout these first 4 weeks of football?
First one that comes to mind, obviously Travis Hunter, both sides of the ball. It's huge. I love seeing him just I personally prefer him more on defense. I love seeing him just he's a talent. He's a talent that CU hasn't seen in so long. And I think that he just brings so much to see him like injured right now is just it's painful to me. It's
Mhm.
so painful to see like where this team is right now going into this week against USC. So just with that, I love seeing him play. I love seeing him at Jackson State when he was playing. He's just been huge on my radar for like the longest time now. So he stands out for sure.
Yeah, Travis Hunter has been so awesome to watch. It's a darn shame that he wasn't available last week and this week for going up against these high-powered offenses. But it is what it is. It gives our guys the opportunity to step up. Let's talk about the some other guys on the offense really quick. It's been one of your guys that maybe you met on campus during your time, part of the SCOBUS program, Mikey Harrison. What has it been like, seeing him experience and have some big time success so far this year?
Yeah, no, he definitely brought it back this year because like going into this year, like the roster turnover, you had no idea who was gonna stay, who was gonna put up with this new dynamic from Coach Prime, like what's gonna happen. So to see him still stick it out on campus and not only just stick it out, but succeed to have games named over him in his honor for doing so amazing, like I just think it's insane. I think it's so cool. Like that spotlight is on him. So I think it's awesome to see.
And yes, I've loved it. I love that the NIL store too came out with a shirt celebrating his scores. I think it said, what did it say? Mikey called game or something like
Yep.
that.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
Yep.
I think that's cool because like with that NIL store, of course, like a lot of other schools have similar stores, but it seems like CU's team store is just rolling out a little bit more apparel, a little bit more often, than a lot of the other schools on it. What has been right now your perspective on NIL, like comparing it to or like the stuff that the school is providing for them, I guess, outside of the collectives. Is this different than what you've seen kind of at other schools? Where do you feel like it kind of falls in line compared to it's some other schools will be recruiting against?
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely like a lot more like electric because, like you said, you have the whole Prime brand now. Like that was never a thing. So to have like an
Hmm.
actual like boom, like in the school store, that's huge. Like people are lining up. Like the day that came out, like the line outside of the bookstore was insanely huge. You saw that just for Prime. So to see that, and then back in the day, you just have CU buffs this, CU buffs that. Like it's cute gear, it's awesome merch, but you actually have a brand now. Like your school is carrying something so much bigger, and like it's on the giant platform, and just I don't know. I think it, like I said, it just a million times, it's times 10. Like it's just, I wish I was still in college this day, experiencing on like all the on campusness of it. So it would be awesome.
Yeah, I would love to be on campus at this time too. And I imagine the enrollment numbers are going to start going through the
Massive.
roof. I mean, who wouldn't want to go to a school right now? If Big Noon and College Game Day and LeBron James, maybe you might be making
Yup.
multiple
Maybe some Snoop
appearances.
Dogg. You never know. You never know.
I mean that is just so cool, and there are very few colleges, that can pull that kind of star power, on the sideline. I think it's just a really special thing. It kind of blows my mind that like all this is happening in Boulder. like,
Boulder of
um,
all places,
yeah,
literally.
Boulder of all places is now where all these celebrities are wanting to hang out again. Lil Wayne's made multiple appearances here on campus, checking out the facilities. It's a fun time. Now let's get into this matchup against USC. 21 and a half, I think, point dogs right now. That's what CU is coming in. After our tough matchup against Oregon that we had last week, for CU to pull off the upset, what are some of your keys to victory?
Where to even start? Like I wasn't impressed honestly with offense or defense last game. I can't really put too
Yeah.
much credit on both of them. So if they both kind of step up this game, that'd be awesome. Like I definitely want to see I want to see what I saw in the first game against TCU because they went into that game such an underdog and they came out so crazy successful. So I want to see them just come out and still continue to shock the world. I want to see them have that mentality just to go into this huge fan base, especially in Texas where high schools are like college level in Colorado sometimes.
Yes.
So I want them just to just continue having that mentality. And I feel like Coach Prime installs that with them. But for them to carry that on the field, that'll be huge, I think. And just having them put up those numbers, like especially just put up numbers. If you can just seal as much as you can in the first half, that'll be massive, I think, for CU.
Yeah, I think so too. Keeping it close, scoring some points in the first half. Again, our first half starts outside of TCU, like you brought up. They've kind of been a little slow. I think G Pup Date had an interesting take here. You got to get creative with the defensive play calling as well. We can't just allow Caleb Williams to kind of dictate the pace of the game, and
Yeah.
they kind of struggle with their offensive line too. So if we can get some pass rush to this game, I think it could have the potential to make his life just a little bit more tough. Having to run around and make a lot of those plays. And with USC playing Arizona State, last week, night game, Arizona State was in that game for most of it with their backup quarterback as well. And so I think if we can just come out, be a little bit more physical, play a little bit more confidently, be a little bit more creative, I think we might be able to give USC some looks that maybe they haven't been able to game plan for. But yeah, like in terms of your opinion, with USC coming in here, what is that road environment going to feel like for them?
I hope it feels unwelcoming. I hope they just show up and they just know that they're in a whole different world out here. Because I feel like Colorado experiences that so much going anywhere else. So just I want them to provide that same energy out here. That'd be kind of crazy. So just up the ante, up the intimidation of it for sure.
I think so as well. And we're not going to have Nebraska fans here, this game. So I don't think we'll see too many Trojan fans out in Boulder for this game. We'll just have to see. But I think it's going to be a pretty dominant Buffs, centric home crowd. And I think Folsom, it's going to get loud. It's going to be a tough place to play. And USC, their first 3 games were on the road or were at home. And then their first road game was last weekend, and they're used to these evening kickoffs, so their body clock is going to be playing a game, at 9 a.m. Pacific, and hopefully that combined with some of the altitude is able to provide us with just a little bit more of advantage, to keep this game close, and then eventually, pull ahead and pull off that upset. That would be amazing. Maestro had a question in here. Let's get to it. Taylor, Dave, who is your player to watch this week? Do you want to go first or do you want to go second?
I already have mine on the dome already. I
think go for it.
I gotta go Jimmy. I wish the best for him. I want him to do amazing. I want him just to show out and just show up and do just everything right. He's a talent too as well. Like we saw him so much down in Florida, and I want to see him do amazing. I want to see him just put up huge numbers, huge yards, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and he's so likable. That's one of the things that I've loved with all the well-off access and all the YouTube accounts in there every day is just somebody asked me a week or so ago when I was doing a live stream with an Oregon YouTuber, and one of his subscribers asked me, do these players feel like your own? Since it's a brand new team. I was like, absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. We've gotten to know all their personalities so well because of the unprecedented access, that Coach Prime gives with his players and teams. And Jimmy's definitely one of those guys where it's like, how can you not root for him to be
Easily.
successful? And he is due. You're right. He's absolutely due for a big bounce back game. And we're going to need him. We're going to need him in order to
Huge.
pull off this upset. That is for sure. I'm going to stick on offense as well. Somebody that I would like to see a little bit more of, that I think could help our offense quite a bit, is our Houston transfer running back, Alt McCaskill. We saw
Okay.
him get a little bit of action in that fourth quarter, but he's a bigger running back, and he's one of those guys that can kind of fall forward to get those, extra yard or two on those runs. So I think that even if, I'm not expecting us to run for 200 yards against USC like right now. I need to just see a little bit more of
Give
a
me
run
something.
game before.
Yeah.
Yeah, but before we can do that. But if we can just even have just a half decent running game where we're averaging like 3.5 yards a carry, I think that would do great things for Shedeur, taking some pressure off him, doing some things for the offense to where it just doesn't allow the defense to just lock in and play the pass, every single time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm just hoping we see a better offensive output, than what we saw last week, of course. But I know we got a few more minutes here before we need to wrap up. Again, Taylor, really appreciative of your time,
I
as
love it.
always. In terms of the rest of the season, what are your kind of hopes that you see for the team? Do you have like a goal or an accomplishment or something like that would be an A+ season for the Buffs?
I just want them to keep it annoying. I want them to still like be plastered across ESPN, Fox Network. I want them just to like be front display no matter what they're doing, because if anything, if they're not winning games, they're setting examples of like what the narrative should be at the coaching level. Like, this is the Pac-12. They're about to transfer to a whole other conference. Like, let them set the standard of how your coach should be, how your players should be, what your commitment should be, because obviously they're all in this for like to be at this level, but you obviously want to get to the next level too as well. So I want to see more inside scoops. I love seeing just like the behind the scenes, like you said, all that access is super cool to see. And I just want to see him do great things. I want the best. Like, this is my school. I have so much love for them, and I just like want everything to be good, so just everything good.
Yes, I think it's already been such a successful year, and we're going to continue to. Um, I think we're going to continue to be the main story in college football this entire year.
Nice.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I think we will get that first bowl in this year since 2004, and yeah, it's going to be a special year for the Buffs continuing on for sure. Again, Taylor, really appreciative of your time. Can't wait to get you back on the show again. Please let everybody know where they can find you, and then what to be expecting, to see from you here coming up in the future.
So yeah, go ahead and follow me on my Twitter, Taylor J Sadusky on there, Instagram, Royalty JDS, and then also on my my YouTube. It's brand new to me too, but Taylor Sadusky on there. But actually, for the game coming up, we're going to be getting there bright and early too as well, probably even 2 a.m. just to even see
Oh
setup
my
all the.
gosh.
Yeah, we don't sleep. We don't sleep. So we'll see what that goes on. So expect more blogs, expect more interviews, all that kind of good stuff. Just expect more energy from our side. So pretty much.
I love that. Yeah, y'all be sure to check out Taylor's vlog coming up this week. Again, her one for the last game was absolutely incredible, and
Thank you.
again provides that on-campus feel. If you're not able to make it out here for the game, you got to go see what she's doing, because you'll get a little glimpse of that, from her channel. So again, Taylor, really appreciative of your time, and everybody who participated in the chat. I can't believe I got his name wrong. Not G Pupdate, it's GP Update. So I just read that wrong. I appreciate all of your comments. Please be sure to like and subscribe to both myself and Taylor, as we got more Buffs content coming to you
Yeah.
for the rest of the year. So until next time, Buffs fans, I'll be on with Big Dog later this afternoon at 4 p.m. for Big Dog and Dave. So be on the lookout for that. And as always, Go Buffs.
Let's go Buffs.
All right.